Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Science of Wellbeing for Teens webinar by the Mental Health Hub. And we are so excited to be here, and we are so glad that you could join us for this webinar. And we've been working very hard on it, and we hope we share some insightful tips and information with you guys. I would like to start by introducing ourselves. And so firstly, my name is Tanushree Madalam. I am one of the ambassadors of the Mental Health Hub, and I've been part of the collab for around 2 years now.
Where are you located, Tanushree?
Oh, I'm located in Uruguay right now, but I'm from India. So yeah.
Wonderful. Hi, everyone, for this wonderful hub. And I'm located in Rockville, Maryland.
Hi everyone, my name is Amin Singh. I am the other ambassador to the hub or to the mental health hub, and I'm located in Arlington, Virginia.
Hi everyone, I'm Eric Katz. I'm the secretary of the hub, and I'm in Eastern North Carolina.
Hi everyone, my name is Oba Afia. I'm a member of the hub and I'm located in Atlanta, Georgia, but I'm from Ghana.
Hi everyone, I'm Defne. I'm located in Turkey. I'm a member of this hub.
Hi guys, I'm Colby Aronson. I am in Virginia and I'm a member of this hub.
I think that's all of us here today. We do have some more members that couldn't be here today. We have our social media coordinator, who's Theodora, and another member who's Bisola, and Shiria and Agus as well, but they were unfortunately not able to join us for today's webinar. So we usually start our meetings with highs and lows, sharing what was the best part and the not so good part of our week. And so we would like to do that with you guys. And if you could go to this website, it's like if you could scan the QR code, it would take you to an interactive presentation. So you can answer some questions throughout the presentation that we have added to make it more interactive. So you can just scan the QR code, or you can access it through the link that should be in the chat. Yeah.
If you could make it active, Tanushree.
Oh. Is it active right now?
I think just go down one slide and then it should be fine. Perfect.
So if you guys can see the question, please respond to it. Just a couple things that were amazing about this week. Ooh, it's the weekend, of course.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. And helping other people is one of the biggest things for our own mental health too. And yay, driver's ed, congrats.
Yay. Congratulations. Too hot. Makes sense. It's the same here. Whoa, going to the mountains. That sounds exciting. Oh no. Worst feeling ever. Yeah, one more person typing, and then, ooh, that's a
That's a
good
good
feeling.
one.
Did you like it? It was okay. Okay, I think that's an interesting list. So this is what we try to do every meeting as we start. We try to kind of break the ice by sharing with each other what we've been through this week and giving kind of a context with mental health. And a lot of these things could relate to the mental health aspect of our lives. Um, for example, helping one of your classmates finish an assignment will definitely make you happy. So all of these things we do are to kind of reflect on how we're doing on our health and how sharing it makes us even better. So that's basically why we do it. And we would like to provide an introduction to the course, and this is going to be Jessica.
Yeah, we're so happy to see you all. So, one of the things that we all have thought a lot about together is the news around teen mental health can be really negative and overwhelming. And, we see a lot about there's a crisis. And I think, there's some truth to that, but it can feel disempowering and feel like it's this inevitable thing that we can't do anything about. But what we wanted to do was to, um, figure out what we can do together for our own health, for each other. And we did a little bit of research to find out what does the science say we can do to feel good in our lives and to help others. So we've got a little bit about the science, happiness, and tips. Um, some ways to navigate crazy things like social media, and we're just excited to share what we learned with you all. One of the things that got us started on this was learning about this course at Yale called the Science of Wellbeing, and then we learned it was the most popular class of all time in the university. And Laurie Santos, I believe, is the professor, and she made a version of it available for free that was catered specifically to teens. And it's on Coursera. We can share the link with you all after. Um, it was amazing. We really enjoyed it. It was fun. They did really make it a good experience. That said, it's a whole class, it's a whole course, and not everyone has time to do that on top of the already crazy course loads you already have and the stress that you already have in your lives. So we wanted to share what we learned. So if you don't have time, you at least have some of the key highlights from the course that we can share with you today.
In this course, we learned about what happiness is and why it's important. Happiness is an experience of positive emotions and also having a sense that your life is satisfied. This doesn't mean that you have to be a happy person, you have to feel positive emotions all the time. You're supposed to feel sad when sad things happen and angry when injustices happen. A full life that is satisfying is going to have some negative emotions.
Before we get into the course, we'd like to outline just some misconceptions about happiness. Most of these points will come back to later. The first one is good grades. Most people believe that good grades will make you happy. Like there's studies have shown that there's very little correlation between grades and happiness, and sometimes people with higher grades have less happiness. Now, the next one is having money. Most people, some people believe that having more money will make you happier. In reality, once your basic needs are met, there's no correlation between money and happiness. There's some ways you can improve your happiness is to invest in experiences instead of items. Another thing about money, it's also not true that the happier you are in high school, the more money you'll make. There's no correlation between either of those. And the Third thing is social media. There's all of those things about social media being bad. In reality, there's not much effect. Now, some things that actually will affect your mental health, there's the big one is your environment, like the where you live, the people you surround yourselves with, your school, like all parts of that. If you stay positive in all of those areas, then it will affect your mental health in a positive way.
Yeah, so environment can affect our mental health in a positive way through green spaces, being outdoors, in natural light. Green spaces reduce anxiety and depression. Um, and even with minimal space, like green alleyways or other small green spots, they can help with your well-being. Um, Outdoors, hiking or simply walking can boost mental and physical health, and engaging with the natural world promotes a sense of well-being and has been shown to improve cognitive function and attention. And natural light, exposure to natural light, especially in the morning, can help regulate our sleep cycle, which is crucial for mental health. It also increases serotonin levels, often referred to as the happiness hormone, and reduces risk of depression.
Yeah, just to dive a little more into this, we've also wanted to talk about the ways our environment affects us, but the way we can affect our environment so that we can make it more conducive to our mental health. Um, School, I mean, you spend most of your time in school, right? So it's one of the biggest effects on your overall well-being. Um, and I think everyone on this webinar probably knows what it feels like to be in a high stress academic setting, competitive, can definitely lead into anxiety and burnout. Um, but one of the things that we talk about a lot is what are the ways we can influence our school environment, and maybe talking to some of your school leaders about trying to create a culture of that's a little more balanced. We know academics are very important, they are, but our social and emotional well-being is also really important for our life outcomes just as much as our academics. And so um, you know, talking to others about how do we create an environment that makes us all feel welcome, makes us all feel happy to come to school. Maybe not happy to come to school, but feel good at school enough. And our personal space too, that's something we definitely have control over, is having a space that feels like you can go in it and breathe and just be and relax and express yourself. Um, and as much as uh, I struggle with this point, a cluttered space can actually affect your mental feelings as well. So knowing that's something that you can control and creating a clean, um, orderly space can make you feel at peace in your mind too. And then the people around us. One of the absolute strongest links in the science for our health, for our mental well-being, for a long life is having strong social connections and having people you can lean on and rely on when you are having a tough time. But we know that social relationships can go both ways. They can be a source of strength and they can be a source of stress. Um, and so one of the things you can do is sort of notice what are the relationships that bring you joy, bring you peace, that feel good, and what are the interactions that maybe don't add to your well-being, and use that information to um, curate your time accordingly. But spaces like this always make me feel really good because I feel connected to people who want to do good in the world and who are just wonderful people. So I appreciate everyone in our little hub for adding to my mental health in that way.
So now about social media and happiness. So usually we've always kind of heard that social media is bad for your mental health and it can affect your happiness in a negative manner. But there are certain studies recently conducted that show that it might not always be negative. So there were early studies, such as a study in 2016, that found spending just 1 hour per day on social media reduced the probability of happiness by 14 percentage points. But through the newer results, we are seeing that there's actually a very small negative effect on our happiness. And I think this is mostly based on the time we spend on happiness on social media and the purpose we use social media for. So, of course, there are not as many negative impacts that we would think there are, but there are still some negative impacts. So, there's, of course, the opportunity cost that you have by spending time on social media instead of spending time with people you love, like face to face, or doing a hobby that you like, or just spending time in nature. So that is definitely going to cost you all that. And also, it is recommended to use social media in an active way, such as commenting, posting, or liking, instead of the passive use, which is scrolling, lurking through profiles, and that kind of stuff. So, also another factor that depends on how it impacts our happiness is the time that we spend on it. It's okay to use social media as a tool to decompress after school or to reward yourself with those 5 minutes after a study session. But if you start using it as as something to fall on in a moment of stress, that can be something negative and affects your happiness negatively. So it's very important to set guidelines and rules as to how much time you're spending on it and have control over yourself so that it doesn't impact your mental health negatively.
So now I'd like to talk about art and its effect on mental health. So, like, I know it may not seem a relative and important topic to consider since we have such busy lives that art seems impossible. But we all see artists all over the world have considered this. They took the busy lives of people and painted them with beautiful satire. Or they were just so disgusted by this dull life and they painted what they wanted to see most of the time. So this is the thing I would like to discuss. Pretending and sometimes dreaming that you are in the situation that you have always dreamt of helps. But you may say, isn't it lying at some point? But I'm gonna say, like, what about those artificial advertisements that have been imposed since our childhood that made us insecure and depressed about our own dreams and our own cultures, bodies, you name it. Art is something different than that. You see the bitterness and beautiness of the nature, no artificial methods, and you just, see the reality that you haven't tasted so far. Nothing artificial. So another topic is theater. Well, dance and rules, they all carry carry traces of humanity and human experiences. So it's human and human nature. So interacting with them is easier than it seems. So what impact does it have? Let's discuss. Imagine that you come home, like you broke up with your boyfriend or girlfriend, like your it just sucked, and the moment you open like West Side Story, you will burst into tears. But the thing is, you will do this in a comforting atmosphere that the roles, characters provide or consumes to you. And the other topic is theater builds self-esteem. So like why and how can differ people to people. But for me, it's like it to see characters, strong characters, fight with love, anger, gives you like a power to do it on your own too. Like on your own too. And sometimes the opposite is possible as well. You just see the stupidity of the story and the ending, and you just say, I will never behave in that way. What am I doing? And just shake yourself and go on. The last topic is music. So we all know that it reduces depression. It helps with cope up with depression, reduces anxiety, stress. But there's another thing that actually it opens our paths and ways. How is it like? Think that you're listening dust in the wind. You may feel like real dust in the wind. Like, what am I caring so much? What am I worrying about? But on the other hand, you may feel like self-worthless with that lyrics and harmony. But you get to choose your own feelings and emotions at that point. In our professional lives, I mean, it could be a job or a school, education, you name it. There's not such thing like choosing your way. There's always like a thing, an option. If you do this, you'll be this and that and that. They both have consequences at the end, but music is like you be your own hatchet man or your own freedom. And no one can say anything about it since this is your way. So, thank you. And maybe painting again. Yeah. I'd like you to look at this painting and think about the emotions that are coming, the words that are coming from you, and there's also an information you may read, and write them in the like Slido maybe. Yeah, that would be great if you do it.
Could we see the picture again?
Yeah, sure.
I think we can go back to the Slido, the next slide.
Contemplation. Lights. These are cool. Depth. Creativity. That's another aspect. Duality. That, I guess, the person who wrote that saw the depressed moments of our lives and just commented. Sickness. Calm. That's different. Okay. Thank you so much for doing this, by the way. It's a lot. So we all see that right now our feelings differ as well. So we're not the same. Art always evokes different feelings on us and it impacts our lives differently. Thank you for listening, by the way.
Okay, so good grades. Our minds are not really good at predicting how we will feel, so we often overestimate how happy or how unhappy we will be if we get or if we don't get something that we really want. And this is especially true when it comes to grades. So we tend to think that getting a good grade will make us like really excited, and then a bad grade is going to make us like really sad. But research shows that it's not really the case because generally grades are not supposed to affect you that much. Is like you, the person, is what's going to make it affect you. So we can be more aware of these biases by paying attention to your thoughts and your feelings. So, for example, if you're anticipating like a grade, you should be more realistic about how you would feel if it was a good grade or if it was a bad grade. And you can also like pay attention to things that are truly important to you. I mean, as a student, grades are supposed to be important, but don't make it your whole personality in the sense that it has a negative impact on your mental health. So paying attention to things that are like truly important to you will help you be less affected by some stuff that are generally out of your control. Yeah, thank you.
So now we would like to share some of our experiences and tips that we use to kind of get through the day or get through a hard day, and things that help us stay happy, focused, organized, to basically take better care of our mental health. So I can go first, and a habit that I have is right before I go to bed, I think about my day. I think about what I wanted to accomplish in that day and what I actually did accomplish. And I kind of weigh the scales and see why I didn't accomplish those things that I wanted to, what was stopping me from doing those. And from the next day onwards, I know what I need to change about my regular behavior, what I need to incorporate into my routine so that that doesn't happen again. So that improves my productivity, that helps me get things done faster, all that just because of that one habit that maybe takes you 5 minutes.
I
Anyone
can.
else?
Oh,
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
okay. Sorry, you go.
Okay. Well, I generally suck at like planning my day. So when I get to school, I just plan my night, what I'm gonna study, what I'm gonna do. Am I going to, play or make music or just study? And that actually helps when it comes to, just break times. I get bored and I do this. That could be a tip.
I can go next. One thing that keeps me happy every week is being able to spend time with my friends and family. For example, my family and I have a tradition called Friday Family Fun Night, where on Fridays we play games, watch movies, and just overall have a great time together.
I could go next. So for me, I'm an overachiever, I'm a perfectionist, and I like to put people first, but sometimes that can get too much. So I just like sit back and relax because my mom told me that life can be simple, but you choose to complicate it for yourself. So I wouldn't even attempt to enter any situation that I know is going to be a lot to handle. Yeah.
I can go next. Personally, for me, getting exercise, like going to the gym or going for a run or even playing a sport for your school is really helpful because it allows you to clear your mind and keeps you focused.
One thing I do is just to know when to need to take a break because all of our lives are so stressful and full of things that you just have to know when to take a break.
I can
For
go.
me is oh sorry.
No, please go ahead.
For me is walking around and thinking about the day. That's helped a lot.
One thing I learned from the course actually is this idea of, I think they call it time confetti or time snacks. It's like thinking about those moments where you have 5 minutes before a class or you have 5 minutes before a meeting for me. Um, and kind of making a list for yourself of what are the things you could do in that moment. Yes, you could scroll. Yes, sometimes I still choose to scroll, but having thought about it ahead of time, I have other options ready to go because sometimes something else feels a little better, like reaching out to a friend and say, hey, you hanging in there? And just like making a quick connection or stepping outside and feeling the sun on my face. And maybe I have a little more energy to go into whatever that next thing is. So yeah, just being intentional even about the smallest little moments and like what's gonna feel good right now. What do I want to choose?
Anyone else? Okay, moving on. We have, okay, we were supposed to use a Slido, but if anyone else has anything else to share, that would be appreciated. So, specific methods that you have found effective to activate healthier and more positive mental health. So, any other things that you do that are habits like we described, or little um, getaway moments or little tips that people have told you? Anything that you may add? Mm, that is definitely something that gives you happiness. Perfect. Oh, yes, definitely. Kind of helps you escape your real world and just go to a world that doesn't exist, but gives you comfort.
Me too.
Eating
Oh,
food,
comfort food.
definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Food.
that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, I like it. Peace. Thank you guys for sharing that. Definitely some very good advice there. We have one more participant typing. Mm, for sure. Definitely. Moving on, we have the happiness homework.
Okay, so as you leave the webinar, these are some things that we want you to think about that can help improve your mental health, or something that you can do every day that can help the people around you. Social connection, just talking to the people around you, maintaining ongoing friendships, and engaging communities based on your values and passions, like a club at your school, can definitely help you. For kindness, donating your money, time, or extra possessions to benefit others, as well as performing random acts of kindness for those around you, is usually helpful. Fun and flow, make time for challenging activities that require skills so you can get into a flow state. Cut down on fake fun and junk flow activities that seem enjoyable but don't actually make you feel better in the long run. And complete the steps in the fun audit to add more fun into your life. For your signature strengths, you can apply your signature strengths in the near term by factoring them into your responsibilities, as well as staying active and moving around for at least 20 minutes a day. Healthy habits that can benefit your mental health, making exercise more enjoyable by involving friends or energizing environments. Prioritize getting over 7 hours of sleep each night because it'll definitely make you feel a lot happier. And practice good sleep hygiene by putting your phone away from where you sleep at night. For time influence, clearing your schedule to make room for free time that's really your own and you can do whatever you want with it, or using the time confetti wish list technique and make a list of enjoyable things you can do in a short amount of time.
Thank you, Colby, and thank you to our entire hub for working really hard on these slides. It was a lot of fun. It was good for my mental health, I know. I hope you all enjoyed or got something out of this webinar. We're so glad that you all joined, and we hope that you share what you learned today with those around you. And we hope you have a wonderful, happy weekend. Thanks, everyone.